Hi everyone. Let me get the TikTok folks on and let the class start. Okay. So good morning, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Dr. Tochi, mama of the men's and the women's. And thank you for coming to class today. I know you had other options, other things you could do, but you chose to come to class today. So for that, I'm grateful. Please take a moment to like and share the video. It lets other people know that class has started. Okay. So whatever platform you're on, I'm broadcasting on multiple um, platforms. Please like and share. Thank you to Ifunanya. Ifunanya, you're my first like on TikTok. So thank you very much for the like. I appreciate you. I know you could be doing something else. So remember that on TikTok, tapping is clapping or clapping is tapping. I forget how they say that. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, remember to like, give the video a thumbs up, a heart. That lets folks know that we are in session. Ifunanya, you're really you. Thank you so much, Ifunanya. Thank you so much. So today's class, we're going to be talking about earth rituals, earth element rituals. Miss Irene, welcome. She's on time. Yay. Today we're going to talk about earth rituals. Okay, so make sure you get your drink, your snack, your pen, your notebook to take notes. Okay, remember to like the video, share the video, let folks know that class has started. And remember that since 2025, we've been doing a series on rituals. So if you have been late to joining the party, I suggest you start watching the videos I've been posting since January. We've been doing rituals, different kinds of rituals, things about rituals, what you need to know about rituals. Because remember, this channel is where we learn about practical spirituality, not the woo woo stuff. All right? So, for all of you who are joining on TikTok, welcome. All of you who are joining on Facebook, welcome. All of you who are joining on YouTube and Instagram, welcome. Welcome to class. Okay. Ifunanya, thank you so much. Ifunanya is on a roll. So thank you so much. Okay. Ifunanya is sharing. I can see that TikTok kind of shows you that. So this year we're all about rituals because last year I realized that yes, people want to do rituals, but they needed to have some kind of fundamental understanding as to why they're doing rituals and what rituals can do and what kind of rituals they can do, how to do rituals. So that's what we're facing for now. How you can spice up, how you can make your spiritual life more practical. Okay, how you can make it more practical. Now, before I go into the overview of earth rituals, I would like to say this. Okay. Practical spirituality is not magic and it's not magical thinking. Many of us are guilty of that magical thinking, and I include myself. Okay. So remember that everything I teach here is from experience, not just from books, not just from articles, but also from practical experience. Many of us have magical thinking, and we come from backgrounds and indigenous religions and paths that told stories about magical things happening. And when we became Christians and became Muslims and became Jews and became whatever Buddhists, became whatever religion that was brought to us, we took that magical thinking along with us. And that is the reason why Even when you go to the church today, there are still stories about magical things. So it's not just people who are in the traditional paths or indigenous paths who talk about magical things. Oh, there's someone who can appear and disappear. There is someone who, if they stare at you, you will die. You will hear the same. I want you to pay attention. You will hear and see the same thing in religion. If you go to an average church, they will tell you, "Oh yeah, they're raising the dead here, or they're healing the blind, or they're healing people with diseases." But the real test is in the hospitals. How many of us are going to hospitals and laying hands on folks in the hospital? And I don't care what your religion is. I don't care if you're a traditional person, indigenous person, a Christian, a Jew, a Muslim. That's the true test. Our religions, the things that we believe in, we have these magical stories, these mythological stories. But how many of us can actually go to the hospital today and clear out that hospital? Cure everybody in that hospital. You see that it will never happen. Not even the Pope can do it. Because if the Pope could do it, he would do it. Not even your GO can do it. Welcome, Femi Femmes, Nana Love. Welcome to today's class. So many of us are guilty of magical thinking. And so we take it with us wherever we go. And we tell stories. Oh, I heard the story of this person and this happened to them. And when they took this potion or took this lotion or did this thing, or someone laid hands on them or blew a powder on them or smeared them with something, this magical thing happened. I want us to approach our spirituality with knowledge and common sense. This is why I keep repeating spiritual work takes time. Thank you very much, Femi Femmes, for the likes. Thank you for bringing up those numbers on TikTok. Thank you for racing me all the way to 1,000. Let's go. Okay. So now, once we can accept that that spiritual work takes time, it takes some pressure off of us and allows us to start using our brains to figure out how to solve our problems. Okay, we're at 1,000. Look at that. Look at that. I'm having fun off on the side here in TikTok. So if you're in TikTok, you'll know what's happening in the TikTok side. Okay. If you're in TikTok, do support. Do let the algorithm know that class is in session. So once we say, you know what, I am willing to wait for my results and I'm willing to work through and do whatever it takes to get my results. It takes a little bit of pressure off of us and allows us to think about what it is that we're trying to do and the outcome that we're trying to create. We need to also accept the fact that not all problems can be solved overnight. I've had a problem that took about 5 years to solve. I've had another one that took about 7, 8 years to solve. And it took me that long because there was a lot of trial and error. And I've had problems that have been solved within a week. I've had issues that have been resolved within 30 minutes. Okay. So, what I've learned from all of that is that spiritual work takes time. Because there's so many things, so many variables happening that all those variables have to be brought from a random state into an organized state for us to get the results that we want. Okay. So, one of the things we can do to help our situation is to do rituals. I say to people, don't always depend on other people to do rituals for you. The little that you can do for yourself helps. Even if it means going out and pouring a libation every day or every other day or pouring a libation every week, every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. Even if it means going and making offerings to the spirit guides of your element. Some of you are earth element people. How many of you have done a divination and found out that you're of the earth element and you are doing something consistently with your earth spirit guides? Most of us will do something for the first week or two because we're excited to find out that information. And then we find out that information, we're excited first week or two, and when we don't have something magical happen, we give up. And that's not how it's supposed to be. Consistency is one of the keys. Consistency is one of the keys. Consistency. Even when it looks like nothing is happening, consistency is still one of the keys. Thank you, Rookie 369. I see you've hopped over from YouTube to TikTok to see the action that's going on. All right. We have some people hopping over to TikTok to see what's going on. All right. So so we need to understand what it is that we're doing and be okay with it. And also understand that if we're doing certain rituals, if we're taking certain actions and we're not getting the results we want, that is an indication that we need to be moving in a different direction or doing some refinement to what we're doing. There needs to be some refinement, maybe a little bit more investigation, a little bit more research, a little bit more putting a little bit more skin into the game. Earth rituals are rituals that are done with the earth element. If you're an earth element person, you need to listen up and pay attention. I do have an earth playlist on my YouTube channel. And if you go to that playlist on my YouTube channel, not to the whole of YouTube, but on my YouTube channel, you will see different videos I have about the earth element, how you can use the earth element, more about earth element people. This is not to say that if you're not of the earth element, you cannot do earth element rituals. You can. All of us have to set foot on earth. Okay. Earth element rituals are fantastic for grounding. If we find that our thoughts are all over the place, our thoughts are chaotic, we can do earth rituals. And a simple one is grounding. I do have a grounding ritual on my YouTube channel, and you can go watch that. How do you ground yourself and why you want to ground yourself? There are people who have healed themselves through grounding. The inflammation, calming down inflammation in their body through grounding. And there's a whole bunch of research out there. If you like reading research articles and things of that nature, there's a whole bunch of that out there. Oh my goodness. What? We're going for 3,000 folks outdoing themselves. I love you. Thank you. On TikTok. Okay. There are some people who need to go set their bare foot on the earth for a minute. They don't need to be drinking this and drinking that and trying this potion and that potion. Some people just need to go take their bare foot, and place it on the ground. before I started this class is what I needed to do for myself. So I went and set my bare feet on the ground just before I started this class. Some of the dreams I had last night were a little bit uncomfortable for me. So I knew that I needed to go ground myself so that I could make sense of my dreams, the dreams I had last night and this morning. I didn't need to go pew a chicken for that. I didn't need to go disturb anybody, call anybody on the phone. The ritual I did was a grounding ritual. There are some people who are so scared of setting foot on the ground. They're like, ooh, there are bugs and everything in the ground. I don't want to set my foot on the ground. But you're suffering from huge inflammation, huge mental issues. I'm ready to deal with bugs and worms and stuff on the ground as long as it will help me to clear my thinking. Earth element rituals are also good for setting things in motion over a long period of time. If I want something to go, my goodness, we're up to 4,000. Thank you so much. Femi Fems on the roll. If I want something to happen for me, my children, my grandchildren, great grandchildren, I would do an earth ritual for that. I would talk to my earth spirit guides and I would give them offerings and I would say to them, I want this benefit that I'm asking for to continue to my children, my grandchildren, my great grandchildren, to how many generations I want. Many times, earth rituals will not manifest immediately, they take time to manifest. Earth rituals are also rituals that we do to Mother Earth. And people who belong to cults and societies and groups, occult groups, metaphysical groups of the earth, they venerate the earth goddess. They derive their powers and their longevity from the earth. And oftentimes they will get into covenant with the earth. Yay! Thank you very much. Oh my goodness. Car Lanier. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. They go into covenant with the earth spirit guides and with Mother Earth because they want a benefit that is going to last over decades, oftentimes over generations. And they engage in activities related to earth, metals, mining, sand, earth, digging, pottery, ceramics, farming, agriculture, livestock. And so they have the covenant with earth and they consistently do earth rituals. If you're in any of those professions, if you're in any of those businesses, earth rituals will work for you. Look at where we are. 6,000. Woo! You made it happen. You made it happen. You made it happen. Okay, we're having fun off on the side here with TikTok. I'm up to 6,000 likes. Now more than 6,000 likes. Okay. Oh my God. Femi Fem says, so we at 6K. We're getting to 12K next. What? Okay, let's go for it. 12,000 likes. We're having fun off on the side here, TikTok. Oh my God. So we're now going for 12,000 likes. Okay, let's make it happen. I will also help. Okay. So me too, I'm also going to help the effort. You want to also help your own effort, right? So so the thing is, if you're looking for longevity in your business, longevity on the job, longevity in your marriage, your relationships, longevity in whatever it is you're doing, you want to start targeting earth element rituals. That's what you want to start targeting. You don't want to be doing any kind of willy nilly rituals. Oh, let me just go to the water and make an offering to Yamoja. That's not the appropriate ritual to do. You want to be working with the earth element. You want to be working with uh, the Mother Earth. You want to be working with earth deities, especially the female earth deities, because the female earth deities are concerned about nurturing, sustenance. And the way that earth spirit guides protect are different from the way that water spirit guides protect. There are different protection mechanisms. And even compared to fire spirit guides, very different way of protecting. Wind spirit guides, they protect in a different way. Thank you, Carla Near, for okay. So when you are doing these rituals, you need to be mindful and making sure that you are selecting the appropriate ritual for the outcome you're looking for. If I'm buying a house, moving into a house, starting a new business, I would do an earth ritual. I would make offerings to my earth spirit guides. And for those of you who are members on my Patreon, we will do a practical earth ritual so that you can see how this is demonstrated. Okay, the advanced students. So if you're an advanced student, please send me a note on Patreon to remind me so we can set up time for that. Ancestor rituals are oftentimes, when done properly, are a variation of earth rituals. When we do our ancestor healing rituals, when we there's a ritual that I've done with some of my advanced students, um, the communion. We started out by doing communion with the earth elementals. That's an earth ritual for stability, for consistency. So we you so we need to understand that yes, we can be doing rituals to get this and get that and be here and be there. But what about the ritual you need to do to stay there? That's where your earth rituals come in. Oh, I want to get married. You do a ritual for that. I want to get a job. I want to get money. I want to get this. I want to be here. I want to go there. Okay, so once you get that thing, and once you have achieved that thing, what are the rituals that will keep you there and maintain that thing? It's your earth rituals. It's your earth rituals. Earth rituals are also called upon when we want to break ancestral curses, lineage curses, covenants of ancestral covenants and vows that no longer work for us. It's the earth ritual that needs to be done in order to deal with those kind of issues. But remember, do not fall prey to self diagnosis. I do have a video class on my YouTube channel about self diagnosis. Many of us need to go watch that video because when you come to me for consultation or divination, oh, I already know what's happening to me. Someone put something on me. And oftentimes, 95% of the time, no one put nothing on you. It's your spiritual obligation that is on your head that you need to meet. There are a few people that do have stuff put on them, and it's a war because if someone put something on you and they did what they did correctly, it's a battle to get that stuff off. And some of you know that from personal experience. It's not an overnight job. It's not a magical job. It is not a magical job. It's not, oh, and it comes off overnight because your problem did not come upon you overnight and it didn't take place overnight. Therefore, the solution will not be overnight. But it's only 5% of the cases really that fall into that category. Majority of the other cases are people not answering their spiritual call, people making wrong decisions, people making wrong choices, um, people being in the wrong environments. Some problems that people have are even health problems and they think they're spiritual problems. So that's why we need to be very careful about self diagnosis. We need to be very, very careful about self diagnosis. Oh my goodness, 10.2K? My goodness, we're on the way to 12K. All right. We're on the way to 12K. Oh, Rookie 369. Don't even go there. She's talking about trying to get to 14,000. And then Carla Near is saying, let's do it. OMG. Okay, there's some competition going on here on TikTok. Here, let me add my 2 pence to it. So, when you are dealing with your spiritual practitioner, or if you are the one who is looking at what rituals you can do, I hope that you can use this class as a guideline so that you're selecting the appropriate ritual for your situation and that you're not wasting your time. Okay. Because one of the worst things you can do about your situation is that you think you're solving your problem and you are not solving your problem at all. And you're wasting your resources, your time, your effort, your money on the wrong thing. And it happens quite a bit. If you have been called to spiritual practice, and listen up to this, if you've been called to spiritual practice, some of you have been called to spiritual practice. Okay. If you've been called to spiritual practice and your element is of the earth element, generally speaking, I'm going to use a broad brush here. Generally speaking, you are authorized, spiritually authorized, to help people with their earth element rituals. You are spiritually authorized to help people with their earth element rituals. And why I'm saying I'm using a broad brush here is that obviously you need to get trained or you need to apprentice or be shown what to do. But once you have been appropriately trained on what to do, you can help other people because you've already been called to spiritual practice. And your element is the earth element. Now, there are some people who have more than one element. They're water and earth. You can also do earth element rituals for people. Beware of spiritual practitioners who tell you they can do everything. As I am right here, I'm not authorized, I'm not spiritually authorized to do every single kind of ritual. I know my boundaries, I know my limits. Because if you have someone who is not spiritually authorized to do certain rituals for you, those rituals will not work and sometimes they will backfire. And you will end up in a worse situation than you were when you started out. So that's why you need to know the person's body of work. There are sometimes you will go and ask a spiritual practitioner who's operating from ego, hey, do you do earth element rituals? Yes, I do. But they're not authorized to do that. And so they do an earth ritual for you and it fails. And you start having more problems than when you started. Unfortunately, that's an expensive way to know that somebody's not authorized, spiritually authorized to do those kind of rituals for you. So do your due diligence and do your research. If people come to me and let's say we did a divination and there are certain kinds of rituals that are recommended for the person, if I'm not authorized to do it, I will let you know. And I will say to you, I will get in touch with some colleagues. I have colleagues who do those kinds of rituals. And we will get in touch with them and get your ritual done. I'm not going to sit here and say to you, oh, yeah, just pay me the money. Pay me $15,000 and I'm going to do your ritual for you and all your problems are going to be solved. I'm going to get someone who knows how to solve it for you. And if I don't know anyone who can solve or do that ritual for you, I will tell you. I'm not going to burden myself trying to solve a problem that I cannot solve. It's a burden. And I don't want to bring upon myself burdens that I cannot carry. Now, another question that might come up is, are earth element practitioners stronger than water element practitioners, or stronger than who's stronger than the, there's strength on all multiple levels. Some earth element practitioners are stronger than any other earth element practitioners. That's why you do not want to be going online on social media. Okay, see you. All right. That's why you do not want to be on social media talking about and boasting about what you can do. Because there's always someone else who is stronger than you, who knows more than you. And if you're out there talking about and boasting about what you can do, what you have done, somebody else will come out and try you. And so instead of doing the work that you're supposed to do, you'll be busy fighting off and defending yourself and being caught up in drama that you have no business being caught up in just because you talk too much. Some of us have to learn how to shut up. Watch my video, Excel in Life with the Law of Silence. And that video is very important for those of you who have been called to spiritual practice. Learn how to keep your mouth shut when you are a spiritual practitioner. Even as a spiritual student, learn how to shut up. Not everything has to be put online. Everybody doesn't have to know what you're thinking. Oh, I want to express myself. I have a right to express myself. At what cost are you expressing yourself? What is it costing you to show that you can express yourself? Sometimes when I feel like expressing myself, I will express nonsense. I will deliberately express nonsense. And that's a protective mechanism. Sometimes when I feel that urge that I want to express myself on my opinion, I will deliberately express nonsense. I'm not going to express what I'm not supposed to express. When you are an earth element practitioner, when you're a person of the earth element, you have to understand that your words have a lot of weight. And what you say can be very difficult to reverse. So if you are in the habit of cursing yourself, oh, I'm stupid, I'm foolish, I'm this, I'm that, you will see it come to pass in your life and it will be very difficult to reverse. There are people today who are going through situations that they called upon themselves as earth element people. There are people today who are not married because when they were younger or when they were married before, they say, I will never get married. I will never. And now they want to get married, it becomes difficult for them to get married. I will never have children, and now it's hard for them to have children. I will never, I will never, I will never. And now that they're older and wiser, it becomes difficult to reverse those things that they said as earth element people, especially if they were earth element called to spiritual practice. It takes a lot. And when I say a lot, some of you will understand what I mean by a lot to reverse what has to be done to try to start reversing the laws they put into motion over themselves, because what they set into motion goes over a period of time and it can go across generations. So when they curse, they don't curse lightly, whether it's themselves or others. It's not a light curse. All right, if you learned something from today's class, let's have your AYE in the comment section. Have you learned something from today's class? Thank you so much to my family on TikTok for getting us to 12.1K. Thank you. I don't know that I've gotten to 12K before. Thank you so much for getting us to 12K. I appreciate you. And this was fun. We should do this again. If you've learned something from today's class, let's have your eye. I want to encourage you, don't give up. No matter what it's looking like, do not give up. Do not give up. If you're of the earth element, that is also important to you. Do not give up. If it doesn't work this way, try it this way. If it doesn't work this way, try it this way. If it doesn't work this way, try it this way until you find a way. Spiritual work takes time. Spiritual work takes time. It's not magical. I know we watch a lot of movies. Some of us are into Nollywood, and we're used to watching Nollywood people appearing and disappearing, people doing magical things. In real life, that is not how that works. Somebody touched somebody and they were blind and now they can see. In real life, that does not happen. If it happens in real life, then our hospitals should be empty. Always remember that. Oh yeah, you know, yeah, there's this powerful person. If what they're doing is real, the hospitals should be empty. Doctors, healthcare workers should be out of a job. Look, I want you to do your due diligence, do your research, find out how can I use the earth element to help my situation. And like I said, I have rituals and classes on the earth element, and you can do your research. Start experimenting. Don't sit down and wait for somebody to hand you something on a platter. Start doing your own research. Okay, Dr. Tochi talked about this. Let me try this other thing out and see if it works for me. Let me see if it works for me. And if it works for you, you write it down in your notebook. I did this, and this, and here's the results I got so that you don't forget. All right, time to close class. Thank you very much for coming to class. I'm aware that you could be doing something else, but you choose to come to class today. So for that, I appreciate you. I know that in today's class, we did have several forbidden fruits. Make sure you eat those fruits judiciously. Okay. Make sure that whatever you're doing it to help yourself. In all you're making, make money. Many problems that I see in my consultations, many problems that even I myself have are money problems. Many of us have problems that if we had money, those problems would go away. And I want you to think about what that means and how that relates to earth rituals. If you need to get a hold of me for your spiritual practice coaching, your life is in order, you're a high achiever, and you want to start building your spiritual lifestyle, your spiritual practice, I invite you to go to my website at tochi.us and click on coaching. You can also go to my website for divinations, consultations, dream interpretations, which will be sent to you in writing. When you book a dream interpretation, you're not going to have a one-on-one meeting with me. It just puts it on my calendar. But you will get it. Our target is 72 days to get your dream interpretation to you in writing. I also have books, products, courses on my website. There's no need for you to be uneducated about spirituality. We're thankful to our Creator, our guardian spirits, our ancestors and our spirit guides, and the unknown masters, unknown teachers for today's forbidden fruit. Ashe, Ise, Kamagata Koza, Lasedi, Mkwande, Ayibobo, Nyenho. It is done. It is finished. It's complete. Amen. Amen. Ma'at. Love you all. TikTok people, you're the best.